Right, once again, I welcome you to my channel. This is Coach Chenjerai Mukandiona. I'm excited to discuss with you the role of parenting in solving youth unemployment. And the question that I want to interrogate at this moment of time is as follows. Is youth unemployment a result of poor parenting strategies? Is youth unemployment a result of poor parenting strategies? I would want to start by introducing the theory of Eden. This is a theory that I extracted in the book of Genesis, the Garden of Eden. I'm sure we all know the story. We all know this story. The questions that I want to, the idea that I want to look at from this theory is in two aspects: the role of parenting and the aspect of gardening. Um, Let me start on the role of parenting. The reason why God did not ask Adam to create his own garden, and the reason why God created Eve for Adam is as follows. These are the reasons why I want to discuss with you. God did not say to Adam, now that I have created you, go and create your own garden. He did not say, now that I've created you, create your own helper. Why was it so? I am persuaded to believe that God knew in his wisdom that Adam had no capacity to create this garden, to plant this garden. I am also persuaded that God knew that Adam had no capacity, competence, skills, knowledge, or even idea on how to create his own helper. So, in his wisdom, God saw it necessary and proper to do those things on behalf of Adam. And what he had only to do, what he had to do was to plug Adam into the Garden of Eden, was to assign Eve to be a helper to Adam, and was to instruct Adam to work and care for the garden. That's in brief the aspect of parenting. God being the father to Adam and Adam the son, he saw it necessary that he do these things on behalf of Adam. For him, Adam, for Adam to be able to survive and succeed, he needed those things. And God had to do it for him. God played a crucial role of parenting. Let me look at the aspect of gardening. There is a reason, good reason why God had to name this place a garden, despite other all possible names. There are other good names for that place. It could have been a game of Eden, because we understand that they were animals. It could have been a mine of Eden, because there were minerals, or the fisheries of Eden, because there were streams passing through the land, or maybe an orchard, because we are told there were fruits. But I think in his wisdom, God wanted Adam to become a gardener. This is why he named the place the Garden of Eden. And I would want to believe that every human being, regardless of their occupation, every human being is a gardener. What it simply means is we all have to pass through the process of gardening. And for this process of gardening to make sense, God created time and seasons. What does time and seasons mean? It means there is time to plant, there is time for land preparation, there is time to plant, there is time to cultivate, and there is time to harvest. Life in itself is a gardening process. There is time to be born, time to be a kid, a teenage, an adult, and responsibilities moves with time. As we grow, our responsibilities change with time and age. So basically, that's the theory of Eden, the aspect of parenting and the aspect of gardening. What am I trying to drive here is that parents have to take God's approach, the approach of creating a garden of Eden for their kids. In other words, parents have to create an ecosystem which allow their kids to survive and prosper. God created, planted a garden, and in this garden there were all factors of production necessary, required by Adam for him to be able to work and care. All the factors of production were provided in the ecosystem. And it is the role of you as a parent to make sure that you have created an ecosystem which is necessary, which is sufficient enough for the child to be able to extract factors required, factors needed by one to succeed. Three things are needed for any individual to succeed. One, plan. Two, effort. Three, support. And the point here is you have to create, to give the necessary support by creating an enabling environment, by giving your kids the necessary tools needed in life for them to be able to succeed. In other words, I am saying when your kid, when your child is still young, you have to be very mindful of the microeconomic environment that this kid is going, that you are going to raise this kid. There is going to be a parenting strategy which is going to position this kid for success. There has to be a parenting strategy designed to connect this kid or to for your kids to be plugged into an ecosystem that enable them to extract the factors of production needed for them to succeed. In other words, I am simply saying create a privileged position for your kids. And one of the things that many parents do is to educate, to sponsor their kids by giving them the education. Well, some people can say, I don't want to spoon feed. If I do everything for my kids, I will be spoon feeding them. This is what God did. God created Adam, He created a helper for him, and He created a garden for him. That was not spoon feeding, that was sponsoring. In other words, God knew that Adam didn't have the capabilities, the capacity to create a garden for himself. He didn't have the capacity to create Eve for himself. He didn't have the knowledge, the competence to do these things. And him, in his wisdom, he had to know what Adam requires for him to survive and eventually become successful. And he made those things available. He didn't wait for Adam to discover for himself, just like what many of the parents does, where they ask their kids to create their own environment. Something which is very difficult to, like the governments create, asking young people to create their own jobs. God did not ask Adam to create his own Garden of Eden because he understood the limitations that Adam had. And for this reason, I am strongly persuaded to think that it is the role of parents, the guardian, and the government to create an enabling environment, to create the ecosystems, to create the Garden of Edens for for young people, and the the right thing to do will be to plug these young people into these ecosystems, into this Garden of Eden, just like what God did. Because what God did was to simply plug Adam into the ecosystem called the Garden of Eden and instruct him to work and care. The burden that most of these young people went through is that before they start to work and to care, they have to create their own Garden of Eden. They have to create their own garden. And in most cases, they don't have the capacity to do so. Right. I want to distinguish the difference between sponsoring and spoon feeding. Young people need sponsorship. Sponsorship is when you use your resources to pursue another person's advancement. When you use your resources, your capacities, your wisdom, your knowledge, your skills to help another person to be in a better position to work for themselves. This is why we talk of maybe education sponsorship for for somebody to acquire education so that they will be able to apply that education in their life. What God did was to sponsor Adam by creating a necessary environment, by providing all the tools, the factors of production needed for him to survive, to be able to work, to be able to be fruitful, to be able to multiply. One good example is that in the Garden of Eden, God put fruit bearing trees with the fruits, and those fruits had seeds inside. Right? In other words, God gave Adam everything needed for him to survive. He gave him the seeds, not to ask him to create his own seeds. No, he provided the trees, and the trees had the capacity to generate their own seeds. And the role of Adam was to take care of those seeds. Another aspect is that God did not do everything for Adam. He knows where to stop, right? He, in his wisdom, he never intended to work on behalf of Adam. Yes, he created the Garden of Eden and he created the helper for Adam, but he never intended to work and care on behalf of Adam. In other words, he said it is Adam who has to do the gardening. He has to do the work, the cultivation, the caring of the garden. In other words, it is the duty of the child. If you care for him, if you do the gardening for him, that's what we call spoon feeding. Your role is to create the enabling environment, to build those connections, to maybe if capital is required, you provide, and it is the role of the child to work hard and to care, or it is the role of the child to do the gardening. Right. So basically, that's the theory of gardening. So my discussion in part 2, where I'm going to advise on how best parents can do to create these ecosystems for their kids. And in fact, I don't have much ideas. I only have one idea of franchising an ecosystem which I think parents can pursue in an effort to create an enabling environment for their kids. In other words, I'm simply saying instead of sending your kids to university, you can buy a franchise for them. A franchise is there, will be the Garden of Eden, and you plug them into that business unit that you've purchased for them to work and care. As simple as that. Then on part 3, I will discuss about the role the government can play in helping the young people. Again, I will focus on what government can do around the aspect of franchising and how best government can help young people around this concept of franchising. So that's basically the idea. So as I conclude, I want to emphasize the following points. One, an ecosystem is key for an individual to succeed. People succeed as communities, and entrepreneurship is community based, and entrepreneurship is ecosystem driven, and we should not raise kids to become job hunters. Remember, I said the Garden of Eden was never a game park, a place to hunt, but a place to do the gardening. we should never raise kids to become the hunters, job hunters, or the hunters of prosperity. But they have to go through the process of gardening. In other words, the idea, the, the, the central idea around the concept of the theory of Eden is that you should think about the occupation, about building the systems, the ecosystems of your kids as soon as they are born. And when you raise them, make sure that they are being plugged gradually into the ecosystem they need to succeed. So thank you for listening. I will record part 2 and part 3 of this conversation.